Guys, we've all made presentations at some point or the other in our lives, whether it's a PowerPoint or a Prezi or a public speech. And sometimes we do it for small audiences and sometimes we do it for a big audience. But if you add a bit of humor, maybe a few jokes here and there, it takes it a long way to make it an impactful presentation. And that you might think that, I'm not a funny person. I like to be very straightforward. It doesn't blend with my character. Why should I add a joke? Why should I make it humorous? But maybe that's what the audience needs, because humor is universal. People are used to laughing at a bit of jokes here and there. It breaks the ice, makes them pay more attention to what you're saying, and you might be able to deliver your content a lot more effectively. And you don't have to be a comedian to add jokes or a few punchlines. They're very simple tricks if you follow. Add something in the beginning, maybe something in the middle of your presentation, and something towards the end, just to keep the audience's momentum and interest going. One of the ways to do it is to always start with a personal story, something that you've gone through yourself, which has a slight humorous tone to it. And we've all done this. Don't tell me that you've never sat with your friends or family members and laughed at something that happened to you. Try to see something that's relatable, make it slightly formal, and share that. Like, for example, I share this story that, once I was making a talk and there was nobody in the audience except one person. But still, in the principle of giving a talk, I delivered my talk and this gentleman clapped for me. Then as I was leaving after my talk, he says, "Hey, but I am your next speaker, you should listen to me." So it's subtle, but it talks about, why there are less people listening, more people talking, and how this guy is the next speaker as a kind of climax or twist to the end of the story. The second thing you can do is you can add punchlines. Now, what is a punchline? A punchline is something, it's actually a sentence which starts with something that looks very normal, seemingly acceptable, but it ends with something entirely different, comes like a surprise, and it has a background connotation to it. Like, let me give you an example. I could say that, guys, I usually, when I give talks, not many people listen to my talks, but I'm okay with that because I'm a husband. So you see, I'm laying the premise over here saying that nobody listens to me when I speak, but I'm okay with it. And you're wondering why. And then I put something completely unrelated, completely personal, and say that because I'm a husband, I'm used to it. And the connotation over here is that there is this stereotyping that husbands are not listened to and, wives don't pay respect or attention. I'm not trying to be any of those new words over here, but I'm just saying that something like this will relate to a few people and make them laugh. There are other punchlines that you could use, which are used to introduce yourself. Like, for example, I use this thing that, my name is Jagdish, I was born in Bangalore, raised in traffic. So you see here, it's a very simple premise, born in Bangalore, and it is always followed by raised in something, right? I was born in Bangalore, raised in a household, raised in a middle class family, something like that is what you'll expect. But suddenly you put raised in traffic, which gives a big relation to Bangalore and its traffic issues, and everyone immediately relates to it, brings a smile. You don't have to get them cracking and laughing because it's not a stand-up comedy show, but they have to get the message that, hey, this guy is not saying something that everyone says. Maybe I should pay a little more attention. Once you get your initial few introductory lines, either with the story or a punchline right, start moving with your content. Be very straightforward with your content. And you'll gauge whether the audience is paying attention or not. Sometimes they are dropping off. Sometimes they walk out to take calls. Sometimes they're discussing amongst themselves. That is the time when you bring in something else in between. Generally, some good pointers is to bring a reference to a previous speaker so that you make sure he's paying attention or she's paying attention. Or make references to someone in the audience. Like, you're talking about a project and you say, I had a project manager who looked just like you. And then, have an engagement with the audience. That again breaks the ice. And then end it with something funny. And usually you can end it with any of the punchlines that you can come up with. I usually end up saying that, because I'm a doctor, I say, okay, you've heard my talk and my name is Dr. Jagdish. I'm an ENT surgeon. Those with allergy, give me an achhi. And then people do achhi and then they say, meet me at Fortis Hospital on Tuesdays and Thursdays between 2 and 4 p.m. So people think, acha, he's sold his consultation time. And you get a little bit of claps, people are laughing, and you give an impactful presentation. You don't have to go too much out of the way and make your entire content funny. All I'm saying is, try to add a bit of punchlines, a bit of stories, bit of relation with the audience, previous speakers, and that can make your talk a little more interesting and you'll be able to do a better job at getting your message across. So thank you very much. Tuesdays and Thursdays, Fortis Hospital, 2 to 4 p.m. See you there. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to support rising stars reach their pinnacles of success, performance artists, please support them by buying their content, watching, sharing the content on www.gixie.in. And maybe someday you could reach where you always wanted to. So take this platform, take this as an opportunity and support art.